First Warning MMA Report is joined live with the #3 ranked UFC heavyweight in the world, Curtis Razor Blaydes. Curtis, we thank you very much for taking the time to join us tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Always, man. As always, want to take some time to thank our sponsors, Heidlich Masonry, Jackson Yard Care, Andy Max Sports Fishing Guidance Service, and Kiss My Fist Medco, the absolute hardest hitting edibles on the planet. Curtis, before we dive into this, the current state of MMA and what you have going on in your career, take us back a few years. Tell us about your combat sports background and how you found MMA.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I wrestled in high school, won state as a senior at heavyweight, scholarship to Northern Illinois for wrestling. Messed up my grades, ended up going to a JUCO, Harper Junior College, won JUCO Nationals in 2012. And then later on that year, I was going to go to a NAIA school, but I didn't get my transcripts in for that semester. So I needed something else just to do, just to maintain my conditioning. So I started boxing, kickboxing. Wasn't planning on taking an actual amateur MMA fight, but one of my buddies, his dad was a coach, and he just kept bugging me about it. So I did it. I won it pretty easily, and then just kept doing it.
Yeah. So you also played defensive end in college at De La Salle in Chicago, right?
Well, that was high school, yeah.
That was high school. Was that a career that you were looking to pursue at one point in time?
I mean, everyone who plays in high school wants to play in the NFL, but it's not for everybody.
Right. So besides having found success, on the gridiron earlier and then later on in the cage, you're also a newer father. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess so. My daughter's 19 months now.
How's that going for you?
It's been a welcome transition, more responsibility, but keeps me on a lot more focus in the gym.
So you said you were from Chicago. I was actually pleased to find out, much like myself, you're a Chicago Bears fan. What do we have to do to win the NFC North next year?
That's not going to happen. So,
what do we need? What do we need to do?
We don't have receivers. We don't have a tight end. We don't have a running back. Our O-line just got worse. Kyle Long just retired.
Yeah.
We're wasting Khalil Mack's prime right now. So it's being a Bears fan. I'm used to a lot of losing, and it's going to be a lot more next year too.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I think there's a lot of changes that we need to make, and we definitely need to address a lot of that in the draft.
We don't have a first round draft pick this year, so
yeah,
not going to get an impact player.
We got 2 seconds, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's the worst.
We have too many holes to even think about a division crown next year, unless Mitch Trubisky turns into, I don't know. He'd have to upgrade his play
for sure.
Which I don't think is gonna happen. So
I'm with you on that. Let's switch focus here and jump back into MMA. Let's talk about your last fight. You're coming off, which is probably your most impressive win over former heavyweight champion Junior Dos Santos. Walk us through that fight a little bit and tell us what you thought about your performance.
Overall, I'm very happy with my performance. My footwork was up to par. My head movement, combos. The only thing I wish I'd done better was actually getting a takedown. Besides that, we adjusted when we realized how much he was committing to stopping the takedowns. We adjusted and we were able to capitalize.
It seems like everyone you fight is worried about the wrestling and the takedown, and that's actually setting up some opportunities for you to showcase your striking. Is that how you feel as well?
Yeah, I mean this is a natural development that I envisioned. Obviously, I'm gonna use what makes me great, my wrestling and my explosion and athleticism. But as people catch on to that, they're gonna have to commit. Like JDS did, they're gonna commit a lot of energy, a lot of focus to their legs, which is gonna open up their face, and that's gonna happen a lot. So.
Yeah. It was a fantastic performance. There's a little bit of a log jam, and I think you would agree with that at the top of the heavyweight division. You're right there. You're on the cusp of a title shot. It looks like the UFC is interested in doing DC versus Stipe 3. Is that frustrating for you to have to sit there and wait on that?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but this has been the state of the division for months now, so I'm kind of used to it. Like, it's very stagnant. We're all waiting on, like you said, DC versus Stipe. If that doesn't happen, we just gotta wait. I mean, I might take on the winner of if Jorginho is able to beat Ngannou. I like to take him, but if he loses, maybe Derek Lewis. But besides that, not a lot of options.
Yeah. So if the UFC decided to go that route and went DC versus Stipe 3, you said you want to stay active, possibly take a fight. John Jones has been teasing for quite some time the move.
He's not going to fight me, so we can just jump past that one. He's not going to fight me.
Okay.
Not a money fight. I'm not a money fight. We all understand how that works. You don't jump up or drop down and wait unless there's a lot of this involved. And that's not me right now, which is okay.
Right. But if in the past, Anderson Silva was moving up and down. Remember, he fought James Irvin and Stephan Bonner. If they said, "Hey, we're going to give you," if John Jones come up for a non-title fight, is that something that you would be interested in?
Yeah, because that's a lot of money, but he's not going to do that because a risk losing to me, and him beating me doesn't really do nothing. But me beating him, so if I'm him or if I'm his coach or manager, that's a hell no. Like, that's not even on the board, which I understand. Like I said, this is the money business. I don't have the prerequisite fandom. I don't have enough followers on Instagram or Twitter. If I could possibly see John going up to fight Derek Lewis, because he's got 1 million followers. Everyone enjoys his post-fight interviews. That's a bigger possibility than him fighting me. I'm a legit heavyweight.
Right.
I'm not worth it unless I have the belt, and that's a different discussion. But
is the rankings frustrating for you then, considering that oftentimes they don't follow the logical the next choice?
Yeah, I mean, the rankings are pretty much attached to our names just to give the casuals who don't really follow the sport. Oh, this guy's number 8. He must be good. Oh, this guy's number 3. He must be better. That's all it really is for the casuals to help them understand it.
Yeah. So an interesting article came out the other day. I think you may have seen it. The UFC is going to take $300 million in dividends and give them to their celebrity investors. What's your thoughts on that?
That's just the way it is in the UFC. I mean, I understand this business. Like, we don't get paid what we're worth. That's how it's always been. You gotta be the 1% of the 1% to really get what you're worth, and they're gonna make you work for that and make you earn it. So, am I surprised? Not at all.
If we look at like the NFL and the MLB, where the athletes are getting say 40 to 50% of the revenue paid back to them, what needs to change in MMA in your opinion for that to happen for the fighters?
You have to get a union, but that's not gonna happen because guys in the top 5 of each division have to go on strike, and I'm not in a position to do that. And I know there's plenty of other guys who aren't in the position to do that. So a union just not going to happen because we're too spaced out. We're too much of an international sport. I can't get a hold of guys in Brazil because half of them don't speak English. And
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, we need a union, but the union's unlikely. So I don't see things really changing anytime soon. At least not in my career or my generation. Like, over the next 10 years, it is what it is.
Right. So you're going to be doing a sumo match, is that correct, with Rumble Johnson?
Yes, sir.
How did that come to fruition?
My management company, Ballingy Sports Management, they reached out to me with the opportunity, and I was easy money because we're not doing actual grappling. We're doing sumo. So I said, yeah, why not? It's easy money.
Yeah, that's very true. So 2020 is a big year for you. In a dream situation, give us an outline of what the year 2020 looks for you.
DC and Stipe fight May. Jorginho upsets Ngannou. Me and Jorginho do #1 contender fight. Stipe beats DC. Me and Jorginho fight in June or July, and then I win that, and then me versus Stipe maybe late October, early November.
Is there any places you haven't fought yet that you really want to compete in?
I always wanted to go to England or just anywhere in the UK.
Okay. Well, man, listen, Curtis, I really appreciate your time tonight. It was, fantastic having you on the show. I wish you the tremendous amount of success going forward. I want to give you the time to, give some shout outs to any potential sponsors that you have, or let the fans know where they can find you on social media.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Blaydes265. That's also my Twitter handle. And I'd like to give a shout out to my striking coach, Vinny Lopez, my gym, Easton MMA, and my sponsor, Manscaped. They give me a lot of beard products that I actually do use, like beard oils and beard shampoos and conditioners, and I think it really does help. But it's only one way for you to find out. You have to try it out yourself, and that's it. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, like I said before, we really appreciate the time, and best of luck to you going forward.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You bet.